Hey there, and welcome to the weekend edition of News Express on Africa Business Radio, brought to you by Business AM, Nigeria's fastest growing financial and business newspaper. And on this segment today, we'll be going through developing stories from this week and, of course, what to expect this coming week. I've got Philip Isapa joining me for conversations. He is the publisher of Business AM, Nigeria's fastest growing financial and business newspaper. Good morning, Mr. Philip. Great to have you here on the show.
Good morning, Rachel.
And how's your week been so far? It's Friday.
Yes, it is. The week has run very fast. It's Friday. And, a beautiful weekend and such.
Right, so the floor is open, Mr. Philip. Take us through how major stories in Business AM this week have developed. And I'm hoping you could take us through the headline on page 14, talking about the 2021 outlook for the insurance industry. Of course, according to this story, it is projected to undergo a shift. What more can you tell us?
There have been a number of developments throughout the week, chief of which perhaps if we want to talk about the energy sector, the claim put out by the energy power generation companies that Nigeria could effectively generate 30,000 megawatts of electricity. We have development from the Dangote repurchase of shares, which we saw the first tranche happen this week. But apart from that, the CBN has also put out some circulars that are interesting, especially with regards to development in the market. And then we heard the notice given by Stanbic IBTC that it was going to pull out of, or it has pulled out of its license for trading in the EEC end of the foreign exchange market. So quite a lot of things have happened. But the insurance industry, as you are aware, Rachel, over the last 1 or 2 years, we have heard talks about recapitalization by the National Insurance Commission, which gave some guidelines for insurance players to meet up new capital-based requirements, and that has been some challenge for the sector, especially given the way 2020 went, with coronavirus taking a hit on the sector, as well as the NSAS crisis that resulted in a number of NSAS protests that resulted in the aftermath of which was the crisis that led to burning and destruction of a number of properties, which the insurance market or the insurance sector was exposed to, and led to them saying that there was a need to tarry a while, because last 31st December 2020, they were expected to be between 50 to 60% of the new capital base, ranging from I think 2 billion, 8 billion, and so on and so forth. But they asked for a reprieve. Some of them announced that they had met this 50-60%. But we understand that quite a lot of them didn't meet that, because there was a group went to court to stop the implementation of that directive for December 31, and the House of Reps also intervened by saying that NICOM should hold on for a while. The reason being that this sector has been challenged by the coronavirus situation, economies globally and in Nigeria in particular, and then you had the entire crisis So there was call for them to tarry a while. We haven't heard anything from NICOM so far to say what exactly happened at the end of 31st December. But a few of them is a circle, for instance, Prudential Zenith Life, and I think a couple of others, did announce that they had met the 50-60% requirement. But looking ahead, a lot of things have come together to result in what you call the projection that has gone out in terms of outlook for 2021. Because the key thing is that some people are suggesting consolidation for the industry, that is a number of them coming together. The climate has changed quite a lot, and you will expect that the industry will respond accordingly to the changes that you have seen. McKinsey has come up with a number of reports in terms of what has happened globally to the insurance industry, where face-to-face meetings are no longer what you expect the industry to rely on going forward, but where they're talking about digital transformation in the insurance industry. And there's, analysts here are expecting that the industry will take a cue, and then that the industry will also respond more positively to the issue of claims payment. That it is those who pay claims that will gain from the market. So the outlook is such that the projection is that the industry will undergo a shift. With the emergence of new insurance market in Nigeria, how that will play out, we will watch things unfold and then see how what the market eventually offers, going forward. Particularly, especially with regards to the tense atmosphere in the economy in relation to the COVID-19 situation, which has become more serious. This wave that we're experiencing, the second wave that Nigeria is experiencing, has become more more serious than the first wave, and the response, the perhaps attitude to the situation is creating more tension, in terms of what we're seeing a consolidation across the industry. One analyst group, Financial Derivative, talked about consolidation across the industry. Talked about that attractiveness of the industry will deteriorate. That again, with the holdco strategy by the banking industry, which will possibly allow them to extend their reach into insurance. Perhaps we're going to see banks encroach on the insurance space, this year. Again, you have the situation with the general purchasing power of Nigerians, of citizens. Insurance. People will think more of feeding themselves and clothing themselves than think of insurance, and that will have an impact on the industry.
Right.
But we look ahead. The industry there'll be a lot that will play out in the industry, especially with the new capital requirements and other things that might face the industry.
Okay, Mr. Philip, it's a new week ahead, right? And we're expecting, of course, new fresh headlines next week. What should we expect? There's quite a lot going on. Let's take two quick actions by the central bank.
telcos and tech firms, to test what they call a sandbox for payment system. Again, what we are hearing or what we're learning is that the central bank continues to push the frontiers of the payment system in Nigeria. Recall that a lot of things have moved from the fiscal space, to the technology space, and with this COVID-19, we expect that there'll be a lot of attention paid to how technology is shaping the payment system, and how there is the need, to really monitor what's going on, to avoid a number of mishaps that might happen along the way. So two circulars, one is the CBN inviting fintechs, telcos, tech firms to test the sandbox for payment system in the country, the aim of which is to encourage financial inclusion and improve customer experience again.
All right, but just right into the Business AM for last week. There are a lot of stories you can still check out. But for next week, we're expecting a lot more developing stories, and we cannot wait to see what that is going to be about. We're already short for time. Maybe we'll have to cut the conversation at this point. Join us again on Monday for the week starter edition of News Express, brought to you by Business AM, Nigeria's fastest growing financial and business newspaper. That was Philip Isakwa, the publisher, Business AM.